From strange beings standing on clouds, glitches in reality captured live and direct, to the videos of the first positions of the collection that I know will leave you doubting until you can't handle it anymore. Because my name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present 10 extreme horror videos that will convince you that the paranormal exists. Number 10. At first glance, this image seems to be of two researchers in Antarctica, right? With a bag of implements on the other side. Well, this is not snow. This is a cloud. It was during a commercial flight that a passenger looking to the right noticed these mysterious and enormous shapes in the clouds. Something that I have never seen. And if you have ever flown, you will know how strange these shapes are. Clearly, there is the presence of various gigantic humanoid figures that seem to be standing on the clouds. Beings that seem to be wearing warm clothes, as if they were in the snow. Look static, contemplating a sleigh or something similar. The most disconcerting thing is that their shadows are projected clearly on the white layers, as if they were in a solid place, where it shouldn't be. How can this be possible? The recording quickly went viral on TikTok, with thousands of people speculating about its origin. In the comments, some suggest that it could be the so-called broken specter, an optical effect that occurs when the shadows of objects are projected on fog or cloud surfaces under specific lighting conditions. But here, a doubt arises. The proportion and details of the figures seem too defined to be a simple illusion. Reason why the most adventurous lean toward the presence of beings from other dimensions, or even the appearance celestial guardians, angels. What could be the real origin of these enigmatic figures captured in the skies? Tell me what you think. Number 9. Leo Ojeda, a regular follower of the channel, claims that something disturbing was recording on his camera after inspecting some warehouses during his night shift. During his night shift rounds as a security guard, he started recording because he thought he heard strange noises. He had already told his friends and co-workers that odd things happened at night, and this was intended to be video evidence. He recorded without thinking that he would really capture something paranormal. Consider that in this footage, he was alone. It was this dog, his faithful companion, the only one who kept him company. Let's see if you can figure out for yourself what happened here.
Invierno nos congelaba. Bueno, acá otro obrador. Ahora me voy a ir hasta Ahora me voy a ir hasta el otro lado. Lástima que no me puedo. Zoom. Este debe ser flash. Sí, flash. Bueno. Pero igual es temprano ahora. Más tarde voy a firmar bien allá. Aquí saca foto esto. Firulai. Aquí saca foto esto. Firulai.
Did you capture it? At the end, a mysterious shadow passes quickly near him at the moment just when he was standing next to one of the machines. Also, if you notice, the camera seems to fail just before that shadow appeared, as if something had interfered with its operation. At first, I thought, simple, it's the same shadow as the dog's, but looking closer, we can see that that shadow is much larger and more robust. Plus, the dog already had his shadow and was completely on the opposite side. What the heck happened here then? Is this a simple game of shadows? Or could it be something beyond natural? Leave me your opinions in the comment box. Number 8. What you will learn about in this position corresponds to a clip captured live and direct. You know how much I like these recordings because falsifying them becomes entirely difficult, if not possible. Observe.
Fuera de las urnas de Nogales, Arizona, donde la gente ha mostrado mucha emoción y diversidad de opinión entre los dos partidos. Entrevistamos a algunos latinos que dijeron que el día de diversidad de opinión entre los dos partidos. Entrevistamos a algunos latinos que dijeron que el día
In the middle of the broadcast, a man can be clearly seen walking towards a nearby structure. However, when he was preparing to enter, just before reaching the door, his silhouette seemed to disappear completely. How is this explained? The fact that this happened live adds another level of mystery, since staging something like this in real time would be almost impossible. There were no cuts or subsequent edits that could explain this disconcerting anomaly. What do you think? A simple technical failure? Or is there something much more frightening hidden behind this recording? Let me know what you think. Number 7. In position number 7 is another one of those that came to me during the Christmas season. If you saw my previous video of paranormal recordings captured at Christmas, you will know that during these dates, paranormal activity increases a lot. And I was not able to review this video, and that is why I bring it to you today. The scene shows a decorated Christmas tree next to 3 elf dolls, typical of the season. However, during the night, one of them begins to move on its own. The change of position and advancement of the dolls occurs without anyone being nearby, and there are no signs of drafts or obvious manipulation. A footage that inevitably leads us to speculate. Is it a simple trick, or could there be something more behind it, such as inexplicable energies associated with these figures? The movement of this elf is as fascinating as it is alarming, since no matter how much you want to find some logical explanation, everything points more towards a manifestation of the supernatural type. What do you believe? Are we looking at a Christmas hoax or something much stranger? Leave me your opinion in the comment box. Number 6. The following footage comes from Mexico, specifically from a hotel located in Juchitepec. In the recording published on the official website of the establishment, a young employee who usually shares fragments of her daily life inside the premises one day captured something unusual and inexplicable from the outside of the hotel with her camera.
Aquí más cerquita. Sí, miren, ahí se alcanza a ver una cara, unos ojos. Vamos a ver a esa habitación. Estamos subiendo las escaleras porque desde ahí es donde estábamos viendo que se veía. Aquí ya no se ve nada, a lo mejor por el reflejo de la luz. Y vamos a ver en la habitación. Aquí está la cama, porque esta es una habitación pequeña. Aquí pues no se ve nada. Y aquí está la tele donde estábamos, donde se supone que se veía, pero no se ve nada. No entiendo por qué se ve. ¡Ah!
As you can see in the video, on the second floor of one of the rooms, a face seems to be peeking out from inside, but when she arrived there to check, she found absolutely nothing. However, the most disturbing of all occurs at the end, when a loud bang echoes from inside, as if something invisible had been next to her, making her leave the room completely terrified. This footage quickly went viral since it was beyond the normal content they usually publish, which generated an endless number of possible explanations. Some users claim that the face could belong to a guest from another time, perhaps a residual energy trapped in the area. Others think it is a prank or even a setup. But if that were the case, then how to explain the loud bang that occurred right at the end of the video? If you have a theory about this, I ask you to leave it in the comments. Number 5. From Michoacán, Mexico, we received a video that defies all logic. A subscriber who wanted to reserve her identity tells us that the security cameras captured the specter of some children in the middle of the night, while the establishment was completely closed. We need paranormal videos. If you know or have paranormal videos like this that you would like me to see, do not hesitate to send them to the email that you now see on the screen or to my official networks. Without further ado, let's continue. In the image, you can see two small semi-transparent figures walking towards the center of the room. They remain still for a moment and then run away. But the bizarreness doesn't end there, and if you look closely, that apparent white curtain seems to move in a particular way, especially when the children materialize. Before, it didn't move with that force. According to the owner, this place was closed to the public during the early hours of the morning, which makes this recording even more difficult to explain. What were those figures? The subscriber says it is completely impossible for there to be children here at this hour. Number 4. This is one of those experiences that can leave an indelible mark on your life due to how unusual and even unsettling it can be. The video was recorded during the early hours of the morning by a security camera in a store in Yemen. According to the owner, he was visited by a mysterious, strange woman who behaved oddly and who also had sheep hooves.
ما بيشتغل ما عاد ملزومها لا والله ما طيب طيب
What is most striking about this figure is its physical appearance. Their extremely pale skin evokes the image of someone seriously ill or even dead. Furthermore, several comments on the original video maintain that this is an obvious case of supernatural entity taking human form. People also reinforce the theory of the owner of the enclosure. Many find that her feet, instead of being normal, would appear to be hooves. A scene so disconcerting that it is not difficult to imagine the emotional impact on the store owner. How would you act if you faced a similar situation? Would you ignore her, thinking she is a crazy woman? Or would it leave you with a strange sensation that would last all day? Comment below. Number 3. Three years ago, a South Korean series achieved the unexpected, becoming a global phenomenon. I'm referring to Squid Game, a series that exploded on Netflix as an apparently local proposal. However, it reached millions of viewers around the world, becoming the most viewed fiction on that platform. A resounding success that led many to wonder about the elements that inspired its author to create this extreme survival plot. However, those who delved into the subject by investigating the internet found that the idea might not have been entirely original, but rather it could have been inspired by real life. These photos have circulated on the internet, especially on TikTok, to demonstrate that the Squid Games were apparently real and occurred a long time ago. However, these images could be made with AI. You already know that the spectacular scope that can be achieved with this technology. So yes, these images may be attractive. They might as well be made with AI. However, investigating a little more on the internet, there are others. This time, real, not generated with AI. Additional photos which seem to suggest that in fact something similar to the Squid Game was made in real life. All these photos correspond to part of the rooms that housed an institution known as Brothers Home, a private organization that during the 70s and 80s opened its doors as a social assistance center where food, education, and protection for people who were homeless. However, the reality was quite far from that. In the years leading up to the 1988 Seoul Olympics, the dictatorial regime ruling South Korea at the time promoted a plan to clean the streets of homeless people, thus opening social welfare facilities such as Brothers Home. However, those who managed to get out of there alive described these places as true concentration camps. There, they took thousands of people, including homeless people, orphan children, student protesters, opponents of the regime, and even drunk people who were found wandering the streets. All were subjected to forced labor, physical and psychological abuse, experiments that involved group competitions, something very similar to what is shown in the Netflix series. Later investigations indicated that Brothers Home made money by releasing children for adoption abroad. But perhaps the most chilling fact is that this center named its inhabitants with numbers, which were placed on uniformed garments that everyone had to wear in order to differentiate them. Does this information sound familiar to you? Records indicated that the place housed up to 4,355 people, even though its capacity was designed for 500. However, most of those responsible did not face legal consequences. So for decades, the victims of Brothers Home have fought to get the guilty punished. A dark chapter of the Asian country, which due to the success of the series, finally sees the light today. Did you know anything about this? Comment below. Number 2. This is a case where we find the story of a man who from one day to the next began receiving boxes with strange objects sent by someone he had known for years. Apparently, this person practiced some type of magic and sent him these artifacts. Over time, after accumulating a collection of disturbing dolls and objects that seemed to be cursed, terrifying things began to happen in his home. One day, his dog began acting abnormally, curling up next to him while inexplicable sounds were heard. Worried, he decided to record what was happening and managed to capture this.
My dog's freaking out. I keep hearing knocking at my door. I look out the window. There's nothing. See what I mean? Stay in here, buddy. I'll put them things in that damn cabinet. What the fuck was that? Yeah, I gotta get rid of these damn things. There's somebody that's gonna take one of them. I don't know which one, but...
When he opens the door, he finds no one. However, soon after, the paranormal events inside the house intensify. Convinced that the objects he had received are responsible, he tries to get rid of them. The problem is that he doesn't know which one of them is the cause. So he installs a camera in front of the collection to discover the truth. What he records shortly after is shocking.
What was that? Bro! The whole camera just flew off the shelf.
The camera seems to move on its own and ends up falling off the shelf. That same night, he captures something even more disconcerting. Even something more disconcerting. An object moves on its own, scaring the dog that was nearby. Everything indicates that when he opened the door, he could have let something inside his house. Could this be evidence of a real ghost? The truth is that this story leaves us with more questions than answers. Are these objects really cursed? Or is it all a series of disturbing coincidences? If anything is clear, it is that there are unknown forces that, at least in this case, have managed to alter the tranquility of a home. Perhaps it is a reminder that there are things that should not be invited through our doors. Number 1. We conclude this collection with what would be one more post on TikTok of the girl you see on the screen. The young woman was enjoying her snack after leaving classes when suddenly something completely disconcerting happened behind her. Observe. As soon as that person sits behind her, she turns her head, revealing a completely disfigured face, as if she were wearing a mask or something similar. Is it actually a person? The young woman assures that the intention was only to record herself, thereby ruling out any attempt at manipulation or intervention in the image. Could it be a mask? Or do you think this young woman was sitting next to an unknown entity? If you can think of an explanation, leave it in the comment box, because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.